Are you recording?
Yeah, started.
Good. Compliment of the seasons. My name is Victor, and we've got our friend here who's very much into talking about mental health and talking about things that are very important to our community, the men's mental health. And also today we are focusing generally on creating hope and talking about hope and talking about how we can further support ourselves as we enter this year 2023.
Mm.
Before we continue, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of this land, the past, present, future, and emerging leaders. I would like to acknowledge their continuous contributions to this land. I would like to acknowledge that I take this opportunity not for granted. And in this land, I appreciate the First Nation. As a migrant myself, I really um, say I'm privileged to be in Australia. It's been a blessing to be in this land. Again, as you know, we are here to talk about mental health, and I know everybody's having a great time. Everyone is having a very interesting time, especially family time, family gathering. And research has shown also that this time of the year is when we have a lot of people who are struggling to end their life, and or a lot of people who are going through anxiety, depression, because you start accounting for what have I achieved throughout this year? Is there still hope for me? And what would I be? Why am I still alive to even go through next year? And I've got our very able, trained Mr. Ephraim here to also shed more light on that. I'll just let Mr. Ephraim know to share more light on that before I continue.
Yeah. Thank you, Victor. It's. I think you've really hit the nail on the head there because we know it's a festive period. We know it's a good time that people are winding down, spending time with family. Taking stock of how the year has been and preparing for next year. We know, and there's a lot of festivities. But you and I, just like yourself, Victor, we know that behind the screen, behind the superficial, there are still people that struggle. So today's final session of the year, it's really meant to bring to let people know that they are not alone. That's one. Let them know that there is hope. I think I think the main message for this period, Victor, and I think today's session, just like you've introduced, is to bring hope, and so that in case anyone that sees this later, I know some people will join us live, and and we're happy for them to also participate. But the key message is there is hope. Um, we all are in this together. Don't think that you are alone. Uh, I'll leave it for now, Victor. But as we go, I think we'll keep engaging, especially those that will also join us. But what a good time to send a message into the airwave that there is hope.
Thank you so much. And this the key message is to say there's hope. And when you talk about hope, one of the things I've discovered is any little thing can give someone hope. And being the ability to talk about anything and giving that person the chance to be listened to can get the person hope. Now, Mr. Ephraim, I know you've not really explained or even expressed because you had a big loss this year due to um, um, a family member who end his life. I know you've not really spoken about it, even despite we've had a couple of sessions together. You've not really had the chance to dig deep. How have you been able to create hope for yourself, and how have you been able to heal from that? how have you been able to manage the process? Because I can't even imagine that in my own state. How have you been able to um, heal from that process?
Victor, it's you're right. It's still very tender. Having to lose a family member this year. So, and that's why I was courageous to let people know that are going through stuff, that they are not alone. Um, and I'll still like to keep a boundary around some level of privacy for his parents. But hey, Victor, you were there at the funeral. Thank you so much. It's good to have men and friends come around you. I have quite a number of friends that were checking up on me. So
Mm,
back to your question of how did I keep hope alive? I Number one, I think I allowed myself to grieve,
mm,
because sometimes, as you know, Victor, especially for us men, when we are going through stuff, we tend to keep it in.
yeah.
And I'm not going to be judging anyone. Sometimes it's not something that you can even avoid. So
Mm,
I experienced that. I kept it in for a while, but I knew better to reach out. Some friends were aware. Community members, I just want to give credit to the Nigerian Association of WA, the Edo
yeah.
Association of WA as well. Close friends, my workplace, they were very supportive. But hey, without taking too much of the space, Victor,